The Dreamy Trilogy of Time. The title, The Dreamy Trilogy of Time, contains two strands that need immediate interpretation, at least as far as the meaning I attribute to them. Which trilogy it is, and why is it dreamlike? As for the first one, the answer is simple: past, present, future, before, now, after, yesterday, today, tomorrow. Pick whichever one you like. Be careful, though, there is a trap. Before, now, after, and yesterday, today, tomorrow are not the same. Its difference lies in the process's amplitude, and what is related to the amplitude is the dream part of time. What is time? Is it a river flowing before our eyes from the past to shape the future in the present? Or is the flow reversed? Does the future fuse to the present to become the past? My personal assessment is that both happen at the same time. Both the distant past provide elements to the present that change it by creating a new recent past, but also the vision of a future offers elements to the present that add their own color to the immediate past, but also shape new conditions for the immediate future. The river of time flows in both directions. One thing is certain: life is only in the present, and this is perhaps the most important factor that should concern us, because as much as we want the concept of the present to be extremely limited in time, it cannot be zero. It has an amplitude whose limits are determined by the current process. What we do now in the present has, in turn, its beginning and its end, and the time horizon of these two defines the amplitude of the act. Be careful. The act cannot become past if it is not finished. Of course, it is possible that what we consider as an act is a set of acts, and each of them ends at unique moments in time. We have to pay attention to this. But before we continue, let's look at the influence of the past on the formation of the present, something that probably doesn't need much analysis. It's pretty much self-explanatory. What it is not is the intervention of the present in the past's exploitation. Let me emphasize that what I just shared is not sophistry, but a genuine statement. When we refer to the past, we are essentially talking about memories that have shaped the way we behave today. What happened in the past is unchangeable. But how we remember it, how we recall it, and by extension how it enters the formation of the present, has to do with what we think had happened. But what if a new piece of information changes the way the old memory is evaluated? What if a much more recent experience reshapes our then criteria? Will not the influence of the past alter the way the present is shaped? We are in a constant configuration of the reality that distinguishes us, and yes, linear time flows. But not based on the calendar, which, purely for practical reasons, has a statutory authority. Time always flows in the perpetual now. Everything we have experienced are memories that are some time away from now, and what we will experience are corresponding memories that will be created again some time from now. It's just that these two are in different directions, but both are elements of the present. With all that we have said, we understand that the eternal now is a constantly evolving moment, and the one who manages to give amplitude to this moment is really lucky, because amplitude here means awareness. The greater the awareness, the more the moment gains amplitude and forms memories. The less awareness there is, the smaller the amplitude, and the absence of memory then characterizes the passage of time. It's different to sleep without or with dreams. At some point, you will wake up. I don't know where or how, but only the dreams will have become memories. Same thing happens with the future. It is not shaped by memories, but by capabilities, something like dynamic memories. Those are the tools we use to shape the present, not only along with the memories. Capabilities and memories are the tools with which we build the present. But these too have elements from the past. Capabilities are built with tools from the past. To make a long story short, the past influences the shaping of the future, and the future differentiates the management of the past, and everything comes together in the eternal now. Not in today, in the now, which, the more conscious we are, the wider it is. Do you know what else that range means? It's like living longer. Furthermore, we should consider adding on this point the course of man towards greater consciousness, towards more expanded fields of consciousness. Those who get there will have at their disposal a now that will be broader. And this will continue forever. Let's look for a moment at the dream dimension of time. Because time is a dream, the reason is it's fluidly. And this fluidity is what we call life. What exists outside of it? Nothing. Who is the one that is dreaming, though? Both the ego and the higher ego, or hyperego. For the ego, the dream of time is linear. However, as we climb the scales of consciousness, when we integrate into the personality of the hyperego, we move away from the linearity of time and enter its quantum concept. That's when death loses all its glamour and becomes a passage, an observation. The past is not set in stone somewhere so that we can visit it at will. It is, as I have said several times in the post, locked away in living memories. So is the future. It is not a reality that, like a scene from a play, waits its turn to take place. Hence, future travel is simply a possibility to see something while it is happening only if one is in an appropriate quantum reality of a higher level of consciousness. And of one thing I am sure. Memory loss in any way has nothing to do with the superego and its course, but with the ego and living in the now. In conclusion, as awareness increases, the past and future decrease. The limit of this course is an eternal now, and this characterizes the concept of divinity. Within it, there is neither past nor future. There is an eternal present, and this is the way.